This is a personal video, a kind of confession. One of the ugliest things about my perception of myself is that I genuinely believe that I can do most things better than most people. And that is things that need intellect, things that need thought and planning and idea generation and even human psychology or mathematics. This is ugly, this is snob, superior, condescending, but also wanting to help people as if I know better than them what is good for their life. And I'm the first to admit that this is ugly, but also what I see some people doing, and I think it's unethical, is that they pretend they're stupid or they lie to themselves that they don't believe they know better. And there is a nuanced way to think about it. So, if my opinion is not just la 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 my taste, but it's kind of my understanding of the situation, and I would bet money, if I had to bet money on an outcome on your life, I would bet it to the direction that maybe you disagree with, I would be a hypocrite and I would be doing a disservice to you to lie to you that I'm not sure, maybe, but okay, I'm not sure, okay, but I weigh on a conviction on something. So there is two ways to be wrong in this situation. To pretend that my viewpoint is as good as anyone's, that's me trying to show some humility, me trying to be humble, to pretend that I don't know better, if I feel I know, if I believe I know better, is one lie. And the other lie, of course, which is also very common, is to be 100% sure that I do know better. So I think if I think I know better than the way you do something, my responsibility to you, if I value you as a person, would be to let you know, not on the spot, not the moment you do the thing, because that's annoying. Also, that's kind of a emotional state, it's public shaming, it's not the right moment. But at least to have the resources or the message that, hey, as far as I understand, it would be better for yourself and for others if you would probably do it my way. Who am I? How am I qualified to say that? I don't know. I just study extensively, and this is kind of the most important thing my curiosity gravitates towards. That has accumulated a lot of information and processed it over the last maybe 20 years. In order to integrate that skill, if it's really a skill and it's not a delusion, I have some feedback that this is a skill and this isn't a delusion, from feedback from people that actually have offered me some gratitude that I helped them see a clearer perspective. So at least in a few cases, I'm not delusional, I think. But then if I have this gift, let's say, to the world, it's not productive, it's not practical to go around people and just trying to fix their lives I don't know much about. Maybe I should be doing that in some kind of sessions, even if I need to be very careful since I'm not formally qualified to do that. And of course, what I'm working on is material that passes this message in a more implicit yet resonating way, which is art. That's why I decided to become an artist, because just like the stories we tell each other and the fairy tales we tell to children, the most mysteriously creepy and unreasonable ones, there is some deep message to be integrated in our psyche and in our intuitions. But I think those stories are great, and so I'm not going to reinvent the wheel. Instead, I think I came up with a form of art that can strike like a sniper and penetrate through different layers depending on how much time you give it. So my aspiration is to make art that can grip your attention first, and you may not know why, and then the more you let it work on you and you work on it, the more you can discover about yourself and the world. And this is still an obnoxious and super ambitious project to even believe that I can make something like the most important art of my generation, but it's my North Star. Like, if you make anything, you might as well aspire to make the best possible of the thing. And so over the last 20 years, I've been struggling to choose how can I serve the world best. And it's more and more clear to me that it's almost always, almost for everyone, it's meaningful to have a family and serve in this local, highly personal, highly emotional, highly subjective, highly visceral level. But I don't have that yet. And above and beyond that, in all its meaning, which I totally think that should be enough for most of us, above and beyond that, and since I happen to haven't had it yet, I might as well use whatever resources, whatever skills I have to try create something that is like a gift to the world. And if that's the case, and if that's my destination, it actually frees me from the stress of pursuing a high income project, because if I do this thing correctly, I live in a Western society which is highly meritocratic, despite all the propaganda and all the, pop culture industry. These are there, they exist, but I don't think it's possible that I make something really profound, really useful, really beautiful, and I start showing it to the world, and that doesn't gain some popularity and success to the right people. I should be intelligent enough to promote. Or let me put it that way, it's much more difficult and interesting to develop a good product than to market it. I mean, marketing is a craftsmanship itself, but I don't need to reinvent the laws and the peculiarities of marketing. There is already excellent work in that. Whereas what I think I can do that nobody has done yet is to create a product that is a new category, and it's something that has value. And then this value, if it's not self-evident, it doesn't need an extreme amount of work to show to the people. I don't need to shove my art or my work to your throat for you to appreciate it. And then if that happens, I don't need even to explicitly beg for money. Oh, please help me. If you like my cause, my story, it's not about me. My goal, and it may sound naive because I'm broke now, and it's easy to be ambitious when you're broke, but nonetheless, my intention is to do something so useful and so good and provide, front load with so much value that a minority of people, and some of them will be inevitably wealthy, will start throwing money on me without me even asking. And so that's what I need to be smart about, because I need to present my art in a very easy to share, easy to digest, low cost of delivery, which, come on, prints, right? Great. Please don't hurt me, just kidding. Why is my color balance very contrasty? Anyway, it's not there, because if it was there, you would be already extremely happy to see that. But it's been there some few moments, when you work on something and it all looks like mess, and there's something inside you that's like, it's not there. And sometimes you see like a little glimmer, a little spark, like, oh, there is some magic there. Wait a second. Okay, I have to keep working. I've been through this journey in the past with music, and without being a musician, I managed to make some kind of magical music, which was really a crazy part of my life. But with the art, is so much more distinctive and easier to share, and also it cuts more explicitly through our human tragedies, because I use words, and words cut deeper when you let them. Even if music cuts deeper, yeah, it's a bit interesting, because you have less freedom on what to feel with words, and it's more manipulative. I have an agenda, and my agenda is something like educate you when and how it makes sense to be irrational and tribalistic, and when and how it makes sense to be logical and secular, and to just make fun of yourself and of others when they are acting rational the moment they shouldn't, and when they act tribalistic the moment they shouldn't. So for example, let's say this stupid example. The daughter gives to the father a cup that says world's best dad. And the father says, like Sheldon Cooper style, thank you, daughter, but statistically it's unlikely, or rather extremely improbable, that I might be the world's best dad. And the daughter's like, what? Dad, you're the best dad for me. Yeah, but you're wrong. So that's something to make fun of. And on the other hand, if I say, oh look, the sun is shining, it's noon today. Yes, it's noon, but for me it's dark night because I feel so much pain, and my truth is that it's midnight and it's the darkness of the day. Everything is dark, there is no sun. This is a stupid example, I couldn't come up with something better on the spot. But anyway, or if you do science and you say, oh, what about the feelings of the people who will read this paper? You know, this is absolutely terrifying, and it has taken over some parts of the academia. It's like, these are things to dismiss, make fun of, and then, of course, be careful of, because they do damage that could be avoided if, yeah. So that's my agenda, if I have any. And I'm going to craft the tools to feed it to the world. Eat my philosophy.